Well, I figured I'd just hop right on here since I was actually finally in the chair and mistyping everything. Hey guys, I am back. Yeah, I did. I thought I mentioned that I might not be able to stream last week. So yeah, I was on travel. We're officially in the future. Welcome to 2925, courtesy of my amazing typing and not paying attention to what I typed before I hit enter. Not even an Instagram story. No, I was busy, pretty busy on travel, and quite possibly the most cursed travel day I've ever had. But you know what? I'm here and I'm happy to be back. Parasocial. Just kept waiting, refreshing. That is both like heartwarming and I guess parasocial as well. But Frank, I did see while I was on travel a car with a license plate that said Franco, and I was like, oh, it's you, it's Frank. There's a goose driving that car. Go change Cable's thing. So hey, I'd really hoped to get a stream in before the new year, but it just the time I was home, it didn't quite work out. Children, please. So for those of you who aren't Frank and Daisy, hi, I'm Geoff. You can call me that, or Wags, and welcome to WagWorksGA. I am an artist. My wife Ashley is a writer, and together we work on Kids Comics. So you'll see us working on, see me mostly working on various forms of those here on stream, whether it's graphic novel projects or our younger, shorter form stuff. Or tonight I'll be working on an anthology project, which I'm pretty excited about. You guys. Oh man. Okay. But also you'll see me do video game fan art here as well, because I like to do that. But if you like art, you're in the right place. I'll use you as a flotation device. Oh my gosh. I just like want to sit here and get the popcorn for this exchange. It's good times. Frank, did you do? I thought I saw you. I got the notification that you went live on New Year's Eve. I was in the midst of kids stuff, so I didn't get a chance to check in. How was your stream? All right, getting a couple things started here in the background. I don't even know when New Year's is. I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow. I like how Daisy and I just both immediately go to the gaslighting on it. Not even a moment's hesitation. It's good times. Geoff, you suck. All right. You know what I love here is the warm community of Twitch and just how we really support each other. I think it's a one of a kind thing. I'm supposed to teach you Clip Studio Paint. I am happy to do that. I will gladly do so. So, as a side, what about Clip Studio Paint is being frustrating at this moment in time? You die every time you use it. Well, that seems problematic. Are you sure it's actually Clip Studio Paint and not shards of broken glass that you're using? You were yelling at the top of your lungs the other day. So what? Okay. What in this particular story were you yelling about? Perhaps we can shed some light. I'm gonna open up. I've got my clip open. Getting my projects to work on tonight open, but I will also open a blank canvas and we can just do this right now. Let's do it. Art 4, yes. All right, what do we got? I forgot what I was doing, but I remember getting mad. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I think Clip has its idiosyncrasies, but for the most part, it's been pretty great. Oh, the dialogue balloons. Yeah. You understand how to put them. I don't use them as much as I could. I have a lot of folks in our bigger community that use it. No, so if you use the proper... Oh, here, I'm going to switch to the one that has my view that actually has my tools so you can see what I'm doing. It actually, if you use the proper tool, I believe it actually contains the text. So like, yeah, that's great, Geoff. Nice. Okay, let's do this all over again. And I can drag that guy around, and then I think if I just grab the text tool, no, that created a fresh one, didn't it? Nope, that's in the balloon. Okay, that was what I was talking about. Why is that all bolded? Oh my gosh. Oh, it's got the outline. There we go. Yeah, so if you use the proper tool, the actual dialogue balloon tool, it will do the hello. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it'll create it so if you look at my table of contents, you've actually got the balloon, the frame, the background, and the text are all in a single layer. It handles that all at once. I have a hard time giving up that much control, so I don't use it. Especially because like for some of our sunny skies, we use emojis, and you can't really do that in here. So I just do them as separate layers myself. Yeah, I mean, you can adjust all that if you really want to. You can adjust the width of the tail right down here, right? Like that. So you could do all that. That's easy enough. Whee! Everybody's saying, hey, Frank. And somebody's thinking it. Oh, wow, that is tiny. Yeah, that one is a straight line, which I'm not a big fan of. No, I also am not the biggest fan of it. Like, I like that it combines a bunch of things, so you're not juggling at least, what, 3 layers? That's nice and all, but when I do balloons, I also like to hand draw them. And they do have the balloon pen that you can use to do your own, but I would rather, for me, I'll do a vector layer for the actual bubble, and then, you know, all that good stuff. And hold on a second. Invert my selection. Go to this layer, fill it in, and then add my text, right? Like that's, for me, that's pretty easy. And hey, Grank, wow, my typing is A+ today, let me tell you. This is how I like to do it. It gives me a lot more control. Also hate making the panel folder things. I actually like those quite a bit. Actually, I'll delete you two and then clear this. Yeah, so I think what's nice here is, you know, you make the one folder. It splits it in ways that you wouldn't necessarily expect. And depending on what I want to do, I used to always just divide the actual folder. But lately I've been kind of been lazier and trying to use fewer layers, so I divide just the border. Yeah, so like in all of these, it just has the frame background like that. Is that what you're talking about? I wonder if usually there's a lot of customization you can do in there. I don't know if it actually lets you do it. There's the cut border. What about the create frame tool? I don't know if you can see. Oh, you can turn that off, Frank. Check it out. So you can see it, right? If you just do the little wrench guy, which is behind my picture right now, but in your tool settings and pop up the subtool detail, you can just turn off the fill inside frame. I think it actually shows up there too by default. Yeah, so if you're on your create frame tool, can you see right here where, hold on a second. It's, I think, just right above my head. Hold up. No, it's, all right. Just a minute. No. Here, hold up. This is what I'm gonna do. So yeah, make myself go away for a second. Don't you wish it was that easy? Yeah, right here. This fill inside the frame. So if that's checked, it will create a white filled layer as the background. If you just uncheck it when you make your frame, it won't do that thing. You know, and it's got all the other stuff too, so you can pick different styles for your panel edges. And that stuff I'm sure you saw and know. You did, in fact, click the button and solve it, not me. It's the truth. I feel like that's a win that you can have, for sure. So maybe that'll make it a little bit less rage-filled and yelly when you want to do it. Maybe. I am sporting a new water bottle tonight, by the way, as I definitely left mine in the middle of, at the security checkpoint in the airport in the middle of Wisconsin, as I was scrambling to get a car to drive somewhere else because they canceled my flight due to fog. What did I get the kids? I guess I can actually talk about it now. I don't know why it feels weird to talk about it. We got some D&D books for my daughter. She's very excited for the DM guide, the 2024 edition. So that was very exciting. We got, let's see, the Blockopedia for Minecraft for my son. I also got, she plays a character in D&D, my daughter plays a character in D&D that's a dog. So I got her some resin dice that have like a little dog in the middle of them, for that character. And then what else do we get my son? It was trying to blank. I know Santa brought my son a bunch of dominoes, which was super cool. He loves building like those big topples like you see on YouTube, like the like Havish5 channel and all that. So he loved that. Santa brought my daughter the Lego D&D set, which she was very excited for. Oh yeah, absolutely. He definitely showed up big time. It was good. Trying to remember what else. There was, yeah, I think those were a lot of the big ticket ones for them. But it was good. Definitely ended up having a bit of a D&D themed Christmas for my daughter. All right, so I should probably like warm up or something since I've barely drawn in the last week. I don't know. Something like that. I'm just going to open a new project instead of worrying about clearing all these guys out. That's a new one. We'll get to that in a second. Legos are expensive. Some of the sets, I'm sure you've looked at some of the Star Wars sets, right? Like, they're insane, especially. Wait, your dog got you a Samsung Galaxy Tab S10 Plus? Holy moly. Your dog is very generous. right, I do realize we should get started on warm up. I don't even know how many Pokemon cards I grabbed this time. It was a bunch. I think it's still within like the usual 4 to 6 range. So let me just. Oh, hold on a second. I got to get rid of this extra window. Nope, that's not the right one. There we go. All right, now you can actually see the canvas. It said it was from her. Yes, what is it? Pick a Pokemon for you too. Oh, all right. So you're gonna do a different one. Nice. Okay. I'm gonna close my eyes because one of the cards is very obviously different, and I don't want that to influence my pick. Although probably could. All right. What do I got? All right. We got Psyduck tonight. That is who I picked. Unless you would like to steal, Frank, you are welcome to do that. If I had known I was picking for you, I would have made sure to put Fuecoco somewhere in the deck. Sadly, that is not the case, so I can have Psyduck. Okay. Then you get, well, okay, that feels too on the nose. Would you like a Pikachu? That's what I drew, but if it's a little bit too obvious, we can pick a different one. I will do one further draw if you want. Poor Fuecoco. Why don't you just draw Fuecoco if that's what you want to do? Otherwise, you can have Ambipom. I will give you the option of Pikachu or Ambipom. You'll take Pikachu? All right. Always a good choice. I'm going to grab a reference real quick. I was also going to look up the Pikachu reference because I totally forgot what I drew, but it was Psyduck. I'm going to say it's been a heck of a last, like, few days to / month. So, you know what? I'm doing my best, but sometimes occupying the chair is the best accomplishment I can do. All right. So, Frank, have you streamed Untitled Goose Game yet? Because it feels like the kind of thing that you would do, or that would be very appropriate for you. All right. Okay, well, you know what? Let's just go ahead and jump in as Frank is ready to go. I just bought it for you. That's awesome. Oh man, I gotta try to make some of those streams. That would be fun to watch. All right, timer 5 minutes starts now. So if you're watching and you haven't watched this before, warm up is not gonna be a beautiful completed piece or a masterwork. I'm here to just loosen up, to get started and get myself into art mode after a day of being a dad, or sometimes working at my day job, stuff like that. So I'm really just loosening up. I'm gonna do a rough sketch. I might get to the point where I can do a pencils layer, but it's not gonna get to where I'm at final lines or colors or anything like that. Though my usual process, it would be to start with a rough sketch, move on to a tighter sketch, which is called pencils, then do my final lines or inks, and then finally I would do colors and highlights and all that. That won't be tonight, but I am here to get a good starting point for if I wanted to come back and finish the piece later. This is either going to be adorable or terrifying. Maybe even a little bit of both. It's got a nice oval head there. Okay. Oh, and you know what Geoff did? Geoff drew on the wrong layer. Shocking, as that never, ever, ever happens. Ever. But thankfully it's pretty easily fixed. All right, there we go. Get like kind of snore bubble going on. It's almost too cute for a Psyduck. I'm not sure. I might need to get like the little exhaustion lines. Make that a little bit. There, move this guy here. So I have been trying to get a little more personality into these. I like to draw my Pokemon sleeping, in case you haven't heard that spiel before. One, because I've kind of started down that road and have a collection of a few finished pieces like that, and two, because they're cute and it gives me a little bit of a boost, so I don't have to spend as much time thinking about what I want to draw, which is pretty nice, because I will spend forever making a decision if you give me that much time. Draw the tail down like that. I bet I can tilt the head a little bit more without making it too super weird. Do I like tilt it like a crazy amount? There we go. That's the terrifying I was going for. You know, sometimes you just gotta crack yourself up. That's all it's about. I think that's the sweet spot. Okay, not bad. This is workable. Could sketch in a background. Something like that. Okay. I still have 40 seconds on my timer. Unless you started ahead. Are you gonna have a finished piece? Is that what's about to happen right now? Well, I've got my like chicken scratch going on over here. My duck scratch. No, I don't think I ever want to say that again. That was weird. Okay. Using a moment to label my layers. Oh, you know what I should do? Also, I'll switch back and bring chat back in. Oh. No. Okay. There we go. That was timer, which I spent my last 40 seconds not actually drawing, which is a real strong move, as you know. You'll Instagram story it? You want me to share? Because I will gladly do so. Sorry, we've been on a big Moana kick in the house lately, so the Tamatoa quote is fresh in my mind. All right. Sure thing, sure thing, sure thing. All right, so this is okay. It's a good start. It's got some personality, and I'm pretty happy with that. Probably will do some tweaks. I think there's a lot that could be done to bring it out in the line work. Okay, it's up. Sketch warm-ups hurt. Hey, that came out pretty good. All right, let me. Are you good if I share? Because I will do that if you. Yes. Okay. Wrong window capture going on. So just a second. we go. All right, there we go. I think that came out pretty good, Frank. Honestly, 5 minutes, it's good. I like that. I think you got the proportions. I got the figure going. Like it's good. Because it's an original character I just made up called Pikachu. Well played. Well played. Yeah, no, I think that came out great, especially for just on the spot kind of thing. Well done. For you making it in 5 seconds. Frank, did I not give you the correct instructions? Did I not? Did I mess up and say 5 seconds? My bad. Honestly, I'd almost believe it. You are fast, my friend. But yeah, working on my expressiveness a little bit here. Getting there. You told ChatGPT. Oh no. Although, would it do a copyrighted character? Because I thought that a lot of them had it baked in that they wouldn't do that. Admittedly, I haven't tried it. I haven't used much of ChatGPT. I've played a little bit with Copilot. But yeah. All right. It looks too weird. Wait, which thing looks too weird? So tonight, by the way, we're moving in. We've got revisions due in about 2 weeks for this piece, for our submission for the Kids Comics Unite Anthology project, which will be launching on Kickstarter in, I want to say, April. So our finals of this will be due in about 3 months, no, 2 months. 2 months, but due in a couple of weeks. I just have some revisions based on notes they gave us on a few things. And some of those primarily we're working on differentiating either with borders or color between the imaginary world that our main character is in and the actual real life world. There were some notes about this panel border. I don't think that they were a huge fan of that. And then things like I adjusted the title very slowly last stream, and then adjusting the perspective on this one to make these characters a bit more intimidating. Image generation is goofy. Okay, I mean, yes. I do think it's funny if you play. I think a while ago I had played a bit with Crayon, and like asking it to make a page of like a manga or a comic, because of course the dialogue is just like squiggles and gibberish, and you get this very strange nightmare fuel thing. It made 2 panels of a group playing board games. Interesting. What are they? I do think there's room for AI image generation for artists to use it for idea generation. I haven't done that yet, admittedly, but I think it almost like it's a way of compiling all of your references, like a bunch of possible references for what you want to draw into a single image that doesn't necessarily come from any one of the references, which seems like it could be cool. Or it would just be fun to, for fun, like do a random prompt, see what it comes up with, and see how that inspires you, perhaps. And the characters are different from the 2 panels. Ah, yes, common artist problem. Okay. So I'm just taking a second. I did get a chance to work a little bit on this over the last 2 weeks, just like a single sketch really, but with the travel and everything. But yeah, I need to make progress on this because it's due in 2 weeks. Oh, in Clip, how you can change the color of a layer? Yeah, and did you know if it's like a grayscale or monochrome type layer, if you change the layer expression color, it'll actually change the tones of it, right? Like, which is pretty cool. Like if I wanted to change my shadow layer, for example, I could make blue shadows. I could make mauve shadows. Honestly, that doesn't look horrible. Dark purple. Yellow? Ooh, that's weird. Let's go back to that. Mauve-ish. Okay. But back to the original color. Nerd alert. Nerd alert.
Now see here, here's what you do. You gotta click right over here and then adjust your settings.
I guess I started to try to do a nerd impression, and then as I did it, I realized that I was literally just being myself. You know, it's all good. Geoff, I cry. What made you cry? Who hurt you, Frank? Oh, Frank, have you used the pattern making stuff in Clip recently? Because that's pretty fun. Well, let me save this guy and clear it out so I don't forget what I was doing. Yes. Okay. Y'all, I have some art deadlines coming up, and I am going to be diving in big soon. It'll be nice to have a bit of a push to do even more art, but yeah, the studio anthology thing is my first big project, and then in another month or so we've got a pitch event, so I'm trying to wrap up stuff for our graphic novel project for the pitch there. And then of course we've got cartoons rolling along. It's busy. Your friend Val, have you heard from them? Are they okay? You call. Oh, so you're realizing that perhaps she might have had a reason. Oh. Yeah. Well, I imagine you're glad you didn't call her lazy. How is she doing? Like, is she still in the hospital? Oh, that is rough. Oh, it's like a super rare cancer too? Oh my gosh. Well, I'm really sorry to hear that, and I hope that she's able to make a full recovery. Cancer sucks. That was the reason for my travel, was visiting, picking up my mom and visiting my uncle, who is stage 4 with cancer right now. Paraganglioma. I'm not familiar with that one. I can definitely, yeah, that sucks. Cancer sucks, 100%. So you may wonder why I drew a goose head here. It's just because I wanted to show off this thing you can do with Clip. By the way, if you convert your layer, oh, I need to go back over to this one. So check this out, Frank. I think you'd like this one. It's not too aggressive. That's good. Okay, so I got my raster layer here, right? So I'm gonna go over to convert layer, and I'm gonna turn it into an image material layer. All right, so I've done that. Now I'm gonna go up here to overlay. Nope, that wasn't it. Hold on. Of course, now it's gonna be a pain in the butt when I try to actually do it. Oh no, it was there. It's under here. So you use the object tool and go to the object setting, the tool settings here. And you can go to tiling and bam! You've got a perfectly spaced pattern. It's a lot of geese. It's a lot to handle. You can change the tiling methods. It's like a perfect border. I love it. Oh my gosh. And likewise, you can just flip it like that. You can choose to do only horizontal, only vertical, or both. Yeah, so once you convert a layer into an image material, just with this object tool settings, you can auto tile and make patterns. And it's much neater than trying to do it manually. Yes. I'm not going to delete this. At first I was like, let's just do something random that I can. I'm keeping this image. I like it. It's true. Yeah. Oh, and you can also rotate it, right? Like you can rotate the whole pattern if you wanted to make it a diagonal. Yeah, it's good times. There's that is one of my favorite Clip Studio tricks to do. Anyway, that is neither here nor there, and I'm sorry for distracting from your very serious story. But yeah. I did want to mention, speaking of cancer, this Sunday kicks off Awesome Games Done Quick. Usually I will do an art piece to donate. I didn't have time this year to get something in as a prize for donation, but I will be watching and I will be donating myself. And the winter event is benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And I think that they work to reduce cancer occurrence through outreach, education, helping improve accessibility to screenings, especially in underserved communities. So that'll be kicking off. Yeah, Sunday, I think around noon. Actually, here's the schedule. Let me just pop that up. I mean, it's a week-long event. They run 24 hours a day. Pretty incredible stuff. Like what the amount of money that they typically raise for the charities they serve is really incredible. And it's also super fun if you love gaming. Watching them completely break some of your favorite games. Yeah, so the schedule is right here. Boo! There we go. And yeah, they kick off noon Eastern time with the actual runs on Sunday. I think they have a pre-show at 11:30. Oh, I'm sure the world record for any percent is much less than that, but yeah, you can see they play. It's a mix of older games and newer ones. So you've got Portal to single player, so there's some categories where they'll skip specific glitches or things like that to increase the difficulty or stuff like that. But other ones are just any percent, which is, get to the end of the game as fast as you can. They also have a lot of randomizer stuff that you can find, which is pretty fun. Yeah, of course, Portal's there. But they've got newer games too, like Astrobot. Wind Waker is not newer, but it's excellent. Alan Wake 2. One of my favorite parts of any GDQ event usually happens in the wee hours of the night. It's not here. Yeah, they've got, let's see, Red Dead Redemption. Their schedule's over at gamesdonequick.com if you want to look, not with me randomly scrolling quickly through. But the awful and hilarious games block is usually amazing. So that's their scary games block. Batman, like for example, Batman Forever, the arcade game. Well, there are blindfolded speedruns in some events. There was a really good Mario 64 blindfolded speedrun during the Summer Games Done Quick event, which was super cool to watch. They have other categories, things like 2 players, 1 controller, where it's actually 2 people running the game. I wonder if this might be the awful games block. Why is it in red? Inspector Gadget's Crazy Maze. Yeah, this might be, oh yeah, awful runs. This is the awful games block right here. Kevin Costner's Waterworld, any percent run. Squirrel with a gun. Oh, they have Dark Forces Remaster. If you're looking for some Star Wars, Frank. Got Tears of the Kingdom. All Dungeons. Play Skyrim and Fallout, but doing silly challenges. That's fun. Oh, they're playing Rebirth. That'll be cool to see. It's just a 6-hour and 15-minute speed run. No worries. It's pretty solid though for the size of that game. No shooting, no killing, no movie. That's fun. I think adding those kind of challenges is really good times. Anyway, yeah, if you want to check out the schedule for yourself, head to gamesdonequick.com. Their channel is here on Twitch as just Games Done Quick. But yeah, they'll be kicking off like 11:30 Eastern Time Sunday, and they will be going until the wee hours of the following Saturday night, raising money for Prevent Cancer Foundation. What's nice is when you donate on their site, you donate directly to Prevent Cancer. So Games Done Quick isn't taking any cuts there of the profit. And then they also partner with the Yeti. So if you want some really awesome gaming shirts, like this one here from Twilight Princess, they have special event ones that some of the proceeds then also go to Prevent Cancer. Anyway, I wanted to make sure to plug that during stream because it's very obviously with all the cancer talk, and especially have a very personal cancer story this year. Wanted to encourage anyone who'd be interested in doing that. Oh man, it's not the most uplifting stream tonight, but that is okay. Tell you what, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. 2024, especially the last couple of months, was hard. It was very hard. Not my favorite stretch of time. That's not what I was gonna do. I don't know why. Like I go to this one for what I was talking about, but I am excited to have turned the page over to 25, and I'm really hoping we get a smoother year going for us. So I did a really rough sketch using some stuff to try to rough out how I wanted to change my perspective for that particular panel I was mentioning. Excuse me. Actually, I'll just copy everything. That's just, I'll need to condense it down. Okay. Okay. Nope. So I'm just gonna merge these layers real quick to, oh, yeah, I can just do that and then copy it and then drop that in and then undo the... Okay, that'll work. Oh, that is interesting. So I do think it's true, like having that perspective difference, like it's easy to get upset when bad things happen, but trying to find those kind of silver linings, or looking, I guess, at the looking at the perspective from outside of yourself, you know, and that's very true, you know, like, you know, having lost dad, knowing that, you know, he's not having to worry anymore, like, and suffer anymore with his heart, or be limited like that. That's a big deal. It's a good reminder. Okay, maybe I'll bring this one up here. You could never pronounce Valhalla, so you just called it vanilla. That's kind of funny. I like that. I hope to someday go to vanilla. A little rim here so I could scrunch this a bit. Okay, so how do I want to do this? Oh, now that's interesting. You know, I do this every now and then where I'll switch lines off for some reason, and I'll look at them like, oh, dang, that looks really cool. If I just cleaned it up a little bit. What did I get for Christmas? Well, I got some, also got some new dice for D&D. Some super cool, like, liquid core ones, and they've got, like, little pictures of, like, koi on them, so it's kind of got that cool. And then when you roll them, like, you can see the liquid inside still swirling around. Also, Ashley got for both me and the kids Sonic the Hedgehog. So, well, hold on, I can. This one I can show. Hold on. Or I realized that we tidied things up a little bit today, and I'm not quite sure where it's at least not in the downstairs at the moment. So I will have to return on that. But we did it. We did. Lego Sonic. It's good times. Okay, so what I actually was gonna do was maybe turn down some of these guys. I thought this was all in a single. There we go. So if I put this over the top, then I can turn down the frame a little bit. You did what any person would do. Well, I'm not sure this was a wise plan. But the generosity is admirable. Okay. So, go ahead and create a new vector layer for my lines. Completely desaturate that, pure black. That looks better for your Medicaid renewal. I suppose that's, from what I know of Medicaid, I believe that sounds actually quite true. Listen, man, I just want you to be doing well. That's all. That's all. I think this was the brush that I used for this. Yeah. Or was it the crispy pen? Yeah. I want whatever works out best for you, my friend. That is what I hope. Alright, maybe I'll turn off flats and shadows and highlights. Just mean Geoff. I mean, that is what I go for usually, being just, you know, straight up mean. Nope, wrong layer. No surprise there. I am very proud of myself, by the way, for not actually re-penciling this and just trying to line it straight up. So I might try... I mean, I like those in general. I just need to scoot them over. That's better. Okay. Okie dokie. You know, I guess I didn't even ask, Frank. How was your Christmas? And how was your New Year? I know you said you didn't really know when New Year's was, but in case you might have, how was it? I know. What is up with me? Here I am all just unloading my stuff. Goodness gracious. That's not the pen, is it? What pen did I use? Darn it. This is the problem with the sheer number of pens that I have started using for things. It was you, wasn't it? It was that one. Darn it. Alright, I like those lines enough that I'm just gonna create a new layer and trace them. Samsung tab, Star Wars book, coffee, Lego R2D2. Nice. Forkus says, may the fork be with you. I can get behind that 100%. Wait. You currently own no pants? That is not something that I've heard before. Gym shorts. Respectable. That is what I wear most of the time as well. Right, so he has like this neck bracer part here. that part. Okay, and there's like a hand here. Might try to get another hand right here. Just to get that in panel a little bit better. That might still be off panel actually. No, panel line will be right there in the safety zone margin, so that's good. Did you have a nice Christmas with your family though? Like in addition to the nice gift and everything? No, it was terrible. What happened? Bring that down just a little bit. Okay, these are just photocopies of the same guy, so I do need to actually make sure they're different orcs. Just kidding. So it was all right. I am relieved for you. Okay, it's still thinner than the other one, so it'll... Yeah, any kind of bracers on? He did not. I guess I give him that more rounded chin there. I can't really see the face very well. But does having the face not show make it more intimidating? Oh no. Is there something in particular that gives you that impression? I kind of felt like there might be a story coming here. You know what I didn't do is really sketch out how they would be a little bit different. I think there was some adjustment I could do. Yeah, that kind of sucks. That's... I mean, kind of sucks is maybe not adequate description. Okay, this layer I can get rid of. This one's done its job, that's good. That's a crazy amount. That's a crazy amount. Holy McMoly. I mean, on the bright side, as luck would have it, that's a pretty tidy salary there. If it's all legit and for reals. Oh, yeah, that would be a problem, wouldn't it? Yeah, I see the problem there. What if I separate this out? Because I want to do some work on this layer. I'm pretty happy with this one. I might adjust the size of the boy and the dog just because I do want them to seem a little bit smaller. Oh. Oh. That's a lot of dollary dues. That is very many dollary dues. You see, we don't really have much of a front yard. I guess there's maybe enough space for a tent. Although I'm not sure the HOA is going to be cool with that, but I'm not sure. Frank, I'm not going to put you to work. But Frank, you are a good comic artist. Like, I enjoy your loosey-goosey stuff and the things you've been working on. Have you thought about setting up a Patreon at least, or a coffee or something so people can pay you? You'll be Oscar the Grouch. Oscar the Grouch, but Goose. Okay. I need to be figuring this out. Yeah, I know a lot of people will actually, we actually had a few different, for the community at the Kids Comics Unite that we do, right? Like, they talked a little bit about this, a few, like a coaching course that we did and a few other ones. And what's nice about Patreon is, like, a lot of people deliver fresh content that way, but it's also just a way to give people the opportunity to pay you. Like, if they want to give you money to support your work, they can just do that. I mean, the thought is, if you ask me, the easiest thing, and it may not be the most profitable, but the easiest thing is just to open the account and be like, hey, I'm not really offering anything extra right now, but if you want, if you'd like to support me, it's appreciated. It's just like, right, it's just like subs and tips on Twitch, but perhaps more specifically for your art, so it just gives people another way to support you, and to help support your creative endeavors. I owe you $0.25 for each loosey-goosey there. What you do is you offer the mega high 600 DPI resolution comics on Patreon. Subscribe to my Patreon for the high quality goose artwork. I think personally, like, it's one of the things that I've noted in myself is a weird obstacle that I don't really need to have. I could get over it. Just like, hey, if you make an avenue for people to pay money and support you and just say, hey, it's there, it's totally up to them. You're not begging them to do anything. You're not pressuring them to do anything. You're not selling them anything. You're just saying like, hey, if you like it and you feel like you want to throw a few bucks my way, here's a way to do it. $200 a month gets Frank feet. Don't make promises you can't keep, Frank. But I don't know. It's just a thought. If you're looking for income, if you're looking for a way to do it, like, you are an artist, you do put things out there, right? And you create, and there are avenues out there that you can use that don't necessarily require you to make anything new, that just give people the chance if they're so inclined. $200 a month and I won't send Frank feet. Now you're onto something. No, just for whatever it's worth, putting it out there. And then you can, as you go on, add things like a Discord or something like that. Like Patreon members only are allowed into the Discord or something like that if you're interacting with your community via that way. I know some streamers will do like movie nights on Discord where they all watch a movie together on Discord, you know, stuff that you can't really do on Twitch. I don't know. There's different ways to do it. I've seen a lot of folks do that, and you know, you've got a you know, good following already here on Twitch. And again, you create comics. They're good. You know, they're fun and enjoyable. So you could always find ways to just make avenues to do that. And I know people also will sometimes do that with subs, Twitch subs only on the Discord servers as well. Just a thought. You know, as we're moving into 2025 and the entire government agency that I work on contract for has been vaguely threatened by an incoming administration to be dismantled, I also am considering ways as an artist to make income. When do I use raster versus vector? I almost always use vector if I'm not doing something that requires filling in. Any kind of line work, I'm gonna use vector just because it's so easily scalable. What's nice too is then most of your raster stuff, especially if it's solid fills, it's gonna scale just fine. If you make your lines a vector layer, they'll scale fine. So even if you make something at like 72 DPI and later you're like, oh crud, I want to print it, I need 300 DPI, you can scale it pretty well. And the vector lines will still maintain their crispness and won't get weird, which is great. No, I'm a meteorologist, so I work with the National Weather Service, which I work on contract. I'm not an employee. I'm not a federal employee. Which is part of the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, which I believe is one of the entities that was floated, could be dismantled in the future administration. I'm not sure how that is possibly feasible and in what world that would happen. Nor do I wish to discuss politics here. but it's one of those things that's out there that's I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna keep an eye on that one. Maybe I want to have some sort of backup plan. Rise losing her mind? Like concerned about something, or is she just like naming types of bread as like actual responses to conversation questions? Was she the other person who suggested Patreon to you? Okay. Oh, Frank, you are a button pusher, my friend. You are indeed a button pusher. Not that that's always a bad thing. Okay, what if I do... Maybe he's got his head kind of sunk low while he's doing this. Is that going to look super weird? It could. Yep. Wrong layer. No, maybe I'll keep that and I can just do that again. Merge that. Now they're all together. Good. Good, good, good. You like Clip Studio a lot though, but you hate it. I personally, I will not stop singing Clip Studio's praises. I have been using it for, oh gosh, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now. And there's something really great about its combination of vector and raster. And I like the paneling tools. I think they're really helpful for comics. The ability to drop in 3D models is incredible. Have you been collecting your Clippy, by the way? Because I have been forgetting totally, and I'm doing it right now, so I don't, again, forget. I think it goes through, what, like the January 27th? So I think I'm going to get them all this time. I actually missed it last year. Why is Ryan mad? Because she didn't think of a Patreon. I mean, Clip has a lot of great resources, free assets anyway that you can pull in. But it's nice to grab the Clippy so you can get a few extra things if you want to. I am definitely one of those Clip Studio artists that has way more materials and brushes than they know what to do with. But it's like you always want to know that you've got that option if you need it. Okay, I think this is what I was going for. Okay, that's good. That still gets the character face, softened it up a little bit, but it kind of gets that more dramatic, imposing pose that I was hoping for. So I'll take that. I did not know it was the inspiration for Loosey Goosey, although I feel like that makes a lot of sense now that you say it. I'm wondering, because I wanted to give, like, one of the comments in the critique was, you know, they wanted to make the orcs look a bit more, like, imposing. Which I've definitely done here, but I'm now wondering if the amount of angular... I used a lot more angular strokes for them in these, and I'm wondering if it, like... now makes it not seem like it fits the comic style. Look at me here, not even having something penciled and drawing it in. Really living La Vida Loca here. Totally just aged myself like 20 years. That was awesome. Yes? Have a headache. Fix it. Are you hydrated? That is always my go-to check for myself. Am I well hydrated? Am I hungry? Silhouette. You got it right the first time. I will never look at that word the same ever again now that you've said it. That's a good idea. I like the shading idea. That's a good thought. So are you looking for a byline now? Actually, speaking of hydration, I have hydrated well, and I need to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to do that. Gonna take a quick couple minute break here. We're gonna hop over to be right back. Yeah, so yeah, stretch legs. Get your hydration. Get food if you need it. What are all the usual recommendations? There we go. That was hard to say. Don't forget to follow. How do you do? Is it? So is it /SO that you do shoutouts? I don't do enough shoutouts, and I've forgotten how to do it. Is that right? Did I do it? All right. Shout out. Oh, not even SO. There we go. Shut. Okay. There we go. Shout out, Frank. There are. I just get confused from time to time. Okay, so I'll be right back. Hydrate. Go to the bathroom. Get food. Take your medicines that you need. Yeah, and I'll see you in a few. Alrighty. See ya. Baby powder. I'm back, by the way. You know what's a really fun diaper-related term that you're not prepared for until you're a parent and need to buy diaper-type products is butt paste. You wouldn't think that's a thing, but it's a thing. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not even gonna say what it is, because if you know, you know. Anyway, that was all terribly random. Hey, I'm back. I'm gonna finish this panel is what's gonna happen. Oh no, what did Lily get into? She's mad you cleaned your room. You know what? That is a much, more gentle story than some of your other ones about what she's gotten up to. Yeah, I might want to move this layer with the orcs down a little bit, and I can make them bigger too. Kind of bring that to the middle. You got her across the kitchen before she got annoyed. That's pretty solid, honestly. Can I make you even bigger and more intimidating looking? What we could also probably do is bring these guys down a little bit. Oh. Oh no. Well. So that's the okay. Nope, that is a pen, my friend. All right. There we go. There we go. Also, make sure you actually move it to the correct layer, Geoff. That would be a wise idea. Okay. I'm just gonna label these before I get myself even more mixed up. Feels like that's what needs to happen. Yeah, the fill bucket can reference other layers. If you do vector, you can set those as a reference layer as well, which is pretty helpful. Yeah, clip is real smart. In general, I'm well pleased with what it could do. Hold up a second. I lost a frowny face line in here somewhere. Also, I drew that. There we go. Might need to bring Oscar down a little bit. Oop, that one got away from me. That's okay. think that's okay. You found a better art stream. I mean, it was bound to happen here on twitch.tv. To whom do you refer? Well, that's where the frown line went, so I can get rid of that. It's okay, you're still more famous, but since I'm only a part-timer. Shame that. But wait, who's the streamer? Who is this artist? Cool. So it's does she do like design them digitally, or is it more like are they painted? Does she do marker? Does she do like airbrush? At my whopping 30 followers, I'm still more famous. That's, you know. Oh, nice. Okay, so work traditionally first and then line it and color it in Photoshop. That is a well-tread path, and it works very well. Okay, so orc number 2. Hey. This one maybe a little bit shorter, perhaps. Maybe make them putting their head down a bit. Something like that, maybe. Just pray she doesn't stream on a Thursday. Listen. Your presence is always appreciated and hoped for, but it's never an obligation, right? I always want it to be a voluntary and enjoyable experience. Silence, Grandpa. I am not done being pleasant, and I will continue being pleasant for so long as I wish. You called her grandma. Isn't that just kind of your thing? tusk there. That needs to go here. We do that instead of there. All right, I'm getting there. This one was a little bit rougher since I'm trying to combine two sets of lines into a single image and figure it out, but we're getting there. Guess her age right on the money too. That was the first time. You know, there's a first time for everything. That does not look right. There's an extra joint in that arm that I've drawn. That's not gonna do it. Then she complained about insurance. Make that 25. Then she talked about renting a car specifically. Okay. No. None of that's quite there. Let's figure this out. Maybe give him a little thicker forearm. Something like that, and then this one comes over here. There we go. That at least doesn't look like it's got like a triple jointed arm, which is freaky. Which is freaky indeed. You still haven't said who the streamer is. I mean, I appreciate if you're, wanting to use, courtesy and not name drop. But, it's largely just us hanging out here, and I'm fine with that. Maybe he's just flexible. It's that new D&D subclass, Bendy Orc. It's good times. Golden graphics. Okay. Just curious. I do also like to, find out about new streamers, although I don't always have a crazy amount of time. But sometimes. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off for a second so I can try to remember what my original design looked like. Okay, he did not have the furry pants. That felt weird to say out loud. Wait, what? No, I did not do this. What? No. So yeah, I know I had made these symmetric because I just copied and pasted the same orc twice. But what I can do here is make this one a little bit shorter because I'm trying to make him like reach up a little higher in that one. I'm sorry, don't starve me again. You treat me like Harry Potter under the stairs. Except his stairs were nuts. That's terrible. I would never. I would never. Okay, turning these lines off again so I can see what I drew originally. I didn't really make any choices on that orc. Maybe that orc will be wearing long pants. One of them long pants orcs. I am still a little bit worried about how angular I've done these guys versus the otherwise pretty smooth style. Actually, maybe I'll bring the like this. Trying to not tangent this line to where it kind of runs weirdly even with Oscar's hair. Oscar, of course, being the name of my main character. Oh, you know what I do need to do? This belt line is angled wrong for the perspective. Okay, if I turn off all this, what have I got right now? Okay, gotta draw some fingers. Clearly that's missing. If I... But I do think I should add a little variety in their body shapes and make them a little bit bigger, because I want them to be like, what I'm really going for is getting them to be a bit more intimidating than they were in the original image, which, you know, for reference, let's turn some of that back on. Bring it back up. Frank, have you used layer comps at all? Because those are super fun. So what you can do is, if you go to Window and go to Layer Comps, you can save a state where you have a bunch of layers turned on. So this will just like the original, right? I don't know if you can see that I'm typing that there. You can't. Hold on. Yep, that's still trying to capture the old one. All right. Can I add another window capture? Yeah. One second. So yeah, what I'm popping up here is the layer comps, and what that's done is it's saved everything that I have visible right now. So now if I were to go in and do these layers, like that, I can just switch between the two and see, like, okay, does this go a little bit what I'm looking for, or does this do kind of what I want? What I might actually do to help this one out a little bit is I'm going to put these guys inside here. The original. Okay, we'll try this again. Yeah, I do think you're right. The shadows, the hard shadows are going to make it a lot more. And that's one of those things that I haven't worked on as much as my use of like actually black for making those really hard shadow lines. Okay, let's just... Okay, now if I add this save state, oh, that that text box is totally wrong. Hold up. I'll turn text off for this. And speech bubble as well. Now I'll add the new layer of the new comp. And yeah, so I can do this. I think that's better. I do very much. And the other nice thing that I like about this composition with the arms up in the front is that it's going to give a really natural looking shadow over the eyes, which is another, I think, pretty intimidating thing to do. Okay, this took a while. This was a lot lengthier redraw on this panel than I anticipated, but I'm happy with where we're getting on it. Yeah, I just need to add in a little bit of the background again, but overall, pretty happy with that. So, with the less dialogue, like how are you trying to work that in? I mean, you haven't had like a crazy amount of dialogue in a lot of your comics. Like I know Goose isn't standing up there delivering monologues most of the time. So I'm curious how you reduce it. Although at the same time, it's nice because it does the whole show versus tell thing very naturally when you do that. It hurts your brain to try to do less dialogue. Yeah, it's a very different way of doing things, and it is usually the better way, story-wise, and it gives your reader a little bit more credit as well, which is nice. Instead of him saying, like, I'm going to beat you up. Rolling up his sleeves like Popeye. I like that. When I went with like the imagining of like cracking his knuckles that he doesn't actually have. That's another way to do that, but yeah. All right. Okay, pretty good with this. I'm gonna adjust this hand a little bit. Thumbs are on the inside. Maybe something like this. me bring that in there. Okay. Oh, that's why I'm not on that tool. How many vertices were on that thing? Holy moly. Yep. There we go. Now I can just erase this guy. Nice. Okay. I like that. Anyone can throw toppings on a burger, but the method you use to make the burger matters way more. It's true. Have you read, yeah, this is a good one. Have you ever read Making Comics by Scott McCloud? He also has an Understanding Comics. It's real good. It's real good. Highly recommend. Yeah, check it out. If you can find it, like at your local library, it is excellent. And it's, you know, kind of goes into the idea, what is a comic? How do you break down the basic definition as sequential art? And what are the different, you know, it really breaks down a lot of the tools and the language of comics. And I think it's really quite helpful. Yeah, like there's all sorts of stuff, like for characterization, for example, what are your poses and unique mannerisms that are help identify a character? Like, you know, things like slightly crossed eyes for a slightly flaky character, for example. Yeah, it's just, it's really good. And this is one, I got it because it was highly recommended within the kids comics community as well, that I work with. Switch this back over to get chat back. Anyway, yeah, if you can find it in your local library or, you know, bookstore, used bookstore, whatever. However, it's worth a read at the very least. It's really cool. And it gets into all that stuff of the actual storytelling of the comics, not just like worrying about the art and all of that, but like really like how are you making characters that are engaging, that read clearly, so you don't need to tell what they're all about. You can see it. And it's, you know, I think it's, in a lot of ways, it's style independent. It's the basic construction of your stuff. Yeah, highly recommend. So do I add another layer behind these guys? Maybe for roughing in all this stuff, I want to do that. I know I'm winding down on my time here today, but maybe too weak of a line. Of course, Geoff, I wrote that book. You know, that is one of the things about the internet, is you never 100% know who it is that you're talking to. Unless, of course, you're looking at their face on Twitch, and then you're like, okay, pretty sure I know who that guy is. But you never actually know. Which is both really cool and also kind of terrifying. I mean, for all I know, Frank, you could be, you know, a pro comic artist who has like a side like Instagram for loosey goosey or whatever, and does like fun like Twitch game streaming in their spare time. I don't know. You create this account to come and coach up aspiring artists and comic creators. I was looking at layer comps. Just trying to get a style reference on my stuff to make sure I've got I'm actually drawing things consistently. To discourage them so you have less competition. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. So if I draw rocks in here, they're not really gonna show. Nope, too much there. Alright, you know what I think? Is that a lot of this will probably have to wait until the next time I work on this, which will not be, which will be before next week is probably what I meant to say there, but at least that's a start. Okay. Shame on you, don't sleep till you finish. I would love to just have this whole thing done. That would be, I would love to, not because I want to be just done with it, but because I would love to have the time to invest and just finish. I'm excited about getting this whole thing looking good. I think for 2 weeks from now, I'm looking at obviously getting the revisions in on the finish page. That's like the biggest focus. And then there'll be some tightening up to do. At the very least, I'll get like actual tight pencils in on these remaining 3 pages. I probably won't get past that to inks, although I'd like to do that. Yeah, close you. I don't need to do that. I'm gonna save this because I love it. Definitely save this. This is progress. Okay. 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 It's the weekend anyways. Daisy, I love how you're like a ninja. You drop in just in time for the perfect retort. It's pretty impressive. It's kind of a superpower. You're like a chat ninja. I think that's your official designation. You are this channel's chat ninja. To Frank's honorable chat samurai, I'm omniscient. I hope your birds. No, we've got to stop the bird on bird violence. Have there been any more homicides? I guess chicken poyocides, avicides. What would the word be? What am I looking for? I'm sorry, I'm just, again, this is like the popcorn moment. I'm just like, I'm here for it. It's good times. Anywho, it is that magical time where old man Geoff needs to go to sleep. But it's been fun. I hope they inject you. I mean, don't they already kind of do that? Just depends on what chemicals you're talking about. Oh, well, I hope they don't do that to store chickens. That's no good. But Daisy, I can vouch for Frank. He was not talking smack about you while you were gone. Is there a disagreement about buttered toast? least I will jump in on the pro buttered toast side of that argument without knowing any of the context whatsoever, which could be regretful for me. Do I use a toaster? That is the way that I typically would do it. I mean, that's a lot of... So as the person who does the dishes in the house, I really am not gonna bust out a cast iron just to toast bread, when I can have something that's virtually dish cleaning free to do the same job. But that's just me. Yeah, they are literally called toasters. That is in the name. Bust out a cast. Just leave it on the stick. I mean, we practically could. We do use it that frequently. I don't know. I'm not sold. I mean, I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's very good to do it that way, but I'm not sure it's worth the effort. Making it sound like you're running a restaurant. Yeah, well, you know, time is precious, and I look for ways that I can save it. Oh my goodness, you guys. All right. As much as I could let this go on for more of that, it is time for me to call it. So, Frank, Daisy, it is always good having you guys here. Thanks for joining. Anybody else who's been here watching, lurking, watching the VODs on Twitch or YouTube, thank you. I really appreciate you coming and checking out what I do. I love getting the chance to share it with you. I have a lot of fun doing this, so thanks for joining me on that journey. Anytime, youngin. Yeah, so I will be back next Thursday night, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. I think I might be heading back into a period of schedule stability. I will likely be cramming in more edits on this piece for the anthology, although I will be making more progress before then. And if not, if somehow I finish this entire thing before next week, which is like very ambitious, I'll probably be hopping in on a quick Core Tunes or something like that. Excuse me. Thank you, Daisy. That's... Oh, goodness. All right, guys. Thank you again. It's I always enjoy having you both in chat. Thank you. All right, everybody. Hey, have a great night. I'm going to talk more while I stall, while I load up my stream ending graphic, because I didn't think to do that in advance. And now I did it. So anyway, thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Have a great week. I hope you're all well, and I will see you next week. Bye. Oh, and don't forget to tune in to Awesome Games Done Quick on twitch.tv/gamesdonequick, or just go to their website, gamesdonequick.com, and you can donate to help out the Prevent Cancer Society. Prevent Cancer Association. Anyway, I just wanted to get that in. Thanks and have a good night. Bye.